It's cold and snowy, and I'm going to walk you guys through putting some frets into this bass neck. Hey everybody, this is Matt and we're at Texas Toast Guitars. Thanks for watching. You know, one of the most popular videos that we've done recently is a video called "Don't Be a Jerk, Just Buy a New Neck." I don't know why, but that thing, it took off. And so I thought it would be a good opportunity to revisit that a little bit and show you guys what it's like when you get a new neck, specifically when you get one from my buddy Steve over at Maximum Guitar Works. The way that I get necks from Steve, they don't have any frets in them. So I thought, why don't I press a couple frets in and show you guys some of the tools and the techniques used to press frets in, so you can press frets in too. Now, as you can imagine, you don't have to have a neck from Steve to do this. You could pull frets out of your old neck and put new frets in. All the steps are going to be the same. Tools are going to be the same, etc., etc. But we're going to presuppose that you start with a neck that doesn't have any frets in it and you know how to get to this point if you're refretting. Okay? That's important, because what's going to happen is if this video takes off, there's going to be a bunch of dumb comments. Well, how do you get to the part where the... This presupposes that you know how to get to this part. Okay, all right. So I've got my neck here. This has a 10-inch radius. This is a bass neck, which is super cool for me because this is going to be my new bass neck. Because NBA superstar David Robinson bought my other neck that was going to be my new bass neck. So this is going to be my new bass neck. Anyhow, the fretboard's ready to go. We just got to get some frets pressed in and show you what that's like. Now, one of the cool things that Steve does is something called blind fret slots. And what that means is the fret slot is only on the top. It doesn't go through the side. Can you guys see that? So that's neat. It's a little bit like binding, and it virtually eliminates the fret sprout. So you have a nice, smooth, super clean feeling fretboard with no pokey outies, if you forgive the technical jargon there. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is we want to get some frets radiused, because the fret wire that we're going to be using comes in straight chunks like this from Stu Mac. And I'm fortunate that I use a lot of the same fret wire over and over and over again. In fact, the fret wire that I use the most here at the shop is Stuart McDonald's 141C. The C stands for cryogenically treated. This fret wire wears a little bit rougher than or it lasts a little longer than regular old nickel silver, but it works a lot easier than stainless steel fret wire. So I'm not going to say it's right in between, but it's pretty nice fret wire. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to bend this fret wire to match our fretboard. And to do that, we're going to use this tool here, which is the Stu Mac bender. And let me show you how that works. All right, gang, my Stuart McDonald bender is old, and so if you buy one of these now, it's got a bunch of other cool features on it that I don't know how to work. But basically, all you really want to do is you just want to put a bend in your fret wire, and it's fast and easy to do. There you go. Boom. Done. The next thing that we want to do is we want to pre-cut all of our frets to the right size and put them in a block. Now, I made this custom block here, and I put little dots that represent the same dots that you have on the fretboard, although this fretboard doesn't have any because it's my fretboard and I don't like dots. It also has a beer opener on it because at the end of October, I'm going to have a beer. Okay, so we've got our fret wire. It's been pre-radiused. One of the things that you want to remember is that when it comes off the fret bender, the first inch or so is not bent. So you want to trim that first inch off. Same with the last inch, but just keep in mind. In fact, you could even come over here and trim the last inch off if you want, so you don't forget. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to just rough cut our frets to size and put them in the little block that I was telling you all about. And it's fast, fast, fast. You don't have to spend a whole lot of time doing this. You do want to have overhang on both sides, and then we're going to trim it off later. Okay. Let's see. Here's 5, 6, and and 7, which is exactly the number of frets that I actually need or use. So, as some of you guys may have remembered, my bass only has 7 frets on it. This fretboard actually is slotted for all the frets. I can't decide if I want to put all the frets in here, if I want to backfill this with something and sand it back. I'll probably go ahead and put all the frets in, but for the sake of this video, let's just keep it simple and we'll just go forward, okay? So to cut my fret wire, whether it's nickel silver or stainless, I use these StewMac fret nips. They are super cool. And by the way, guys, I'm going to leave a link to StewMac so you can go and check these tools out. A lot of them are on sale right now. So now when you watch this video, if you watch this video in 5 months, they might not be on sale, or they might be. Don't send me an email saying, hey, you said that tool was on sale and now it's not. Okay, just wait for the sale if it's not on sale, or just buy it. There's good prices on all these StewMac stuff. They've gone way, way down recently. Okay, so I've got my frets. My 7 frets here are pre-cut. Now I'm going to trim the fret tangs so they fit in my blind fret slots. All right, the tool that I like to use to undercut my frets is this fret undercutter from StewMac. This is also good for both nickel silver and stainless steel fret wire. And this is going to start to sound a lot like a StewMac commercial, but remember, I'm sponsored StewMac a guitar maker, and links in the description, guys, to all these tools, or maybe just one big link to take you to StewMac, and then you can buy this stuff. The other thing that I'm going to be using is this loop here, this Optivisor, because I can't see. So this gives me the ability to see what I'm working on here and really get it exactly perfect. Because I like to get the frets cut almost exactly perfectly to the slot. I don't like to have any big gaps in there, and I like it to be just about perfect. And man, that one's really close. I like to have just a little bit of wiggle room, but not much. There we go. Okay, that's perfect. I can go ahead and leave that one in there, and we're going to get them all cut to size. I'm going to be doing a video series on this that goes really into depth on stuff like frets and fret ends and nuts and stuff like that you can purchase. But I thought this would be a cool video to do to give you a little teaser, you know what I mean, for those upcoming videos that are going to be more like classes, and they'll have cool camera angles and stuff like that. But until then, this is just going to have to do, because I can't give away every secret, right? I give away so many secrets. Alright, we're almost done. I'd be interested to know too what you guys think. Should I put all the frets in this? Remember, this is going to be my bass, or should I just put 7 and backfill the rest of the slots with some kind of colored epoxy or wood, or you know what I mean? I could get some veneer and press it in there, and that'd be mildly amusing. And then no one would want to play my bass. Although, I did sell one of my basses that had 7 frets to a guy once. It had a super cool fabric top, and he had it in his studio. Okay. Alright, so there we go. We've got our frets are in, and now I'm going to put them one at a time back in the block where they will sit and be like little soldiers ready for action here at a moment's notice. All right, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to chamfer each fret slot. And I didn't used to do this, and I discovered that when I started using glue, CA glue, the thicker CA glue, which I'm going to show you here in a moment, if I chamfer these fret ends, chamfer the fret slots, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to run a file over the fret slot here and just kind of make it a teeny tiny V in the fret slot. I noticed that if I do that, the frets go in smoother, and And a lot of people ask me, do you do that to make it nice for the guy who comes along and refrets the neck one day? And the answer is unequivocally no. I do not do this as a courtesy to whoever's going to refret this later, because I don't build guitars thinking that they're going to need to be fixed later. I build them so that they are good to go right away. But it does make it does lubricate, or gives the fret a little of a place to go, and when we press them in, it's just a nicer thing. The other advantage is if the fret wire isn't exactly a perfect 90 degrees. Somebody said that in one of my video comments. I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're right. If the fret tang isn't a perfect 90 degrees to the bottom of the fret, then you want to chamfer this edge a little bit here. So good on that person, whoever that was. Okay, so I am going to be using this number 20 CA glue from StewMac. I like this stuff, and this was really a game changer for me. Now this is, we've been using this for about a year now. You know, we've used the thin wicking super glue before. We've used Titebond, we've used fish glue, we've used all kinds of other glue, we've used no glue. But I've decided that in the last year or so, we were starting to use this number 20 viscosity super glue. It's my favorite super glue for this, because you can kind of aim it a little better, and it stays in glue form for slightly longer. It doesn't set up right away, so you can do a bunch of frets at one time. And if it gets on the fretboard, you can just wipe it off. It's no big deal. And you'll get some on the fretboard. I'm pretty sure I will here in a moment. But what we want to do is we want to use this stuff because there's no penalty for using glue. Okay. All right. So I've got my glue ready to go. I've got my neck ready to go. I've got my frets ready to go, and I also have my fret press ready to go as well. Now this is an old fret press. It's got StewMac's fret press call assembly in it, and it's easier and better than bashing them in with a hammer. Bashing frets in with a hammer takes a lot of skill, guys. You gotta do it exactly right. Don't be fooled by people saying you don't need to press them in, you can beat them in with a hammer. Yeah, you can, but it takes a while to get good at it, okay? So press them in, and you'll, you know, all the big companies that you guys love use presses. Some of them might use a hammer still, I don't know. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to wick a little bit of glue into the first slot here. And come on, glue. There it goes. We're just going to let it flow into the slot. Okay, and we're going to do one fret at a time at first, just to make sure everything is solid. Press that guy in. And I like to hold it there for just a couple seconds just to make sure. Okay? Of course, it didn't go anywhere. Want to make sure that there's no glue seeping out. If there is any, you can take a paper towel and kind of clean it up. I'm going to do the other 6 of these here, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Like right there, I got some glue on the old fretboard, and right there too. Nice job, man. Okay. But go slow and use. Be patient. You don't have to do 4 at a time. You can do 1 at a time. You'll notice that I'm not tapping these in with a hammer. I discovered that when I tap them in with a hammer, that's where I have a. I always get something goofed up when I tap them in with a hammer. I don't know why. I guess my hammering strength is. I don't know my own hammering strength. That can't possibly be it. Okay. Alright. And like I said, I got a little bit of glue on my fretboard, so I'm just going to wipe off the excess. Don't worry, we're going to clean all that stuff up later on when we do fret ends and things like that. Oh man, okay, there we go. A little bit of glue in the slot, hardly any on the fretboard face, and we'll be good. Okay. Last one. I still don't know what I'm going to do with this. I probably should just go ahead and put in all the other frets, but I'm a unique guy. One thing you want to remember when you're pressing in frets is this press has lots and lots of force. You can press too hard, so really only press in as much as you absolutely have to, and yeah, you'll be good. Now you can take your fret rocker and see if you've got, I've got a little high patch right here on number 2. So we can press that one in a little bit more. Okay. See if it goes away, and it does. Okay, frets look good, feel good. We don't have any high frets, they're all pressed in right. Guys, if you don't have one of these fret rockers, I don't care if you're pressing in new frets or working on your own guitars, you gotta have one of these fret rockers. It's positively invaluable. Okay, now we're gonna take and trim off the ends of the frets. And get it close. Don't worry, we're gonna file these down later. And all right. So our frets are pressed in. They're trimmed out. Now I'm going to file the ends smooth. Probably don't need this Optivisor anymore. I need my regular reading glasses. Okay. So we're going to file the ends of the fretboard smooth. I'm sorry, the ends of the frets smooth. Man, I tell you what, this is way easier when there's only 7 frets. Okay. Alright, so I want to make sure I get all the fret ends even with the end of the fretboard. I'm not going to impart that angle yet, but because that's what we're going to do next. Looking good. Now I'm going to take my fret end beveler and I'm going to put a 30-degree angle on the ends of the frets. Make sure I get them all. I think I'm good on that side. There's only 7. Okay. And you can see when the fret ends are properly beveled. If you hold it up to the light, you can actually see where if there's a little shadow or a flat spot. These look great. Okay. Now I want to use my little fret end file. I'm going to switch back to the loop again here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break the corners off the frets and just take any burrs off of the frets, off the fret tops. And this is a fast job, especially if you only have 7 frets. Like I say, you just want to kind of break that corner off. You can kind of file some of that glue if you've got any glue that's spooged out from the fret slot. Okay. And again, gang, if you want to see this video in a more in-depth kind of platform, you know, something that really goes into detail on how to do this, we can do that, which I think would be a pretty fun video to make. And you guys can, it'd be sort of like a Texas Toast workshop without having to come to my shop. You could watch in your own home, okay? All right, doesn't take much to break those corners off. Now we're going to get rid of the burr that's on top of the frets. Again, doesn't take much to do that. All right, boom, done. So this, the treble side of my fretboard is now very smooth, especially compared to the bass side. So I'll actually finish that up on the bass side here later. I don't need to waste your time and burden you with watching me go like this with a file 14 times. But you guys get the idea. All right, gang, so we cut frets to size, we undercut the fret tangs, we pressed them in, we glued them in, not in that order, and we cleaned up the edge to make them nice and smooth and no pokey outies. So if you have any questions about the video, if you'd like to see the long format version of this video, let me know in the comment section, and maybe we can put that video together. We'll do like a quick video workshop that you can buy, and you can kind of follow along and do your own frets, and have a little more detailed version of what I just showed you. If you like this video, give me the thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. If you appreciate the content that we create, you might want to consider going over to our Patreon page and becoming a member. Even $1 a month goes a long way to helping us bring you cool stuff like this. You can also join us on YouTube. But if you can't do that, no sweat. There's no paywall to watch these free videos. I guess that's why there's no paywall, because they're free. But just share the video as many places as you can possibly think of and help us grow our channel that way. I have one more thing to show you for those of you who've stuck around this long. So the one thing that I wanted to show you guys before we go, Joy had a great idea. Why don't at the end of this video we offer a code to buy this particular guitar for 10% off. So this guitar is $12.99. 10% off would be $129 off this guitar if you use code Joy 10%. And so if you use code Joy 10%, that'd be Joy and then 10 and then the percent sign on this guitar. If it's still on the website when you go look, you'll save 10% on this guitar. And because it was Joy's good idea to do a quick little sale for those of you who want to get in on the action here. So this is one of our Challenger level 1s. They all have a mahogany body, maple neck with a rosewood fretboard, Hipshot hardware, TTG pure juice pickups, all the same stuff that our regular guitars have in a very cool, durable, thin finish. So check it out if you want to save 10%, and the guitar is still available. Joy 10% at checkout, and on this one guitar only. This is the only one we're doing it on. So yeah, someone's going to get something cool. So thanks for watching, you guys. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.